Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, June 28, 2023. It is Friday, 9:30 p.m. my time. So I'm technically getting this video out on Friday. If you're on the East Coast, it's Saturday, but hey, my time it's Friday. So hey, I'm ahead of the curve the last few weeks. So anyways, we'll get into what I'm looking at this week, talk about some stuff coming down the road, some cool stuff that has popped up, show you some stuff that I got this week. I mentioned before, I found a comic shop. It's at least an hour drive for me each way, so it's a couple hours total. So, and it's a smaller shop, so I have to pre-order everything, and I've got stuff pre-ordered, but I just got in there in the last couple of weeks, so it's going to take a while for me to get all my books, but we'll see what happens. Good owner, though. Really good owner. I'll probably give him a shout-out next video. Anyways, we'll get into what I'm looking at. You're all awesome. So if you're here, let's talk some comics. Going to talk about what I'm looking at this week. Not a huge week for me this week. There's some good books, though. From Image, we got World Tree #2 second print is out. I have not read that series, but I've heard really good things from a lot of people. Talked to a couple of people I know and asked them that I trust, and asked them what they thought of it. They said it's really good. So second print is out, and as you know, for years I've been saying if you can get those second prints, boy, try to get them if you can. Excuse me, pay cover price for it though. Don't pay stupid eBay prices. If you miss it, don't worry about it. There's going to be tons of other books coming. From Image is also World Tree #3. Obviously, first print's out this week, so that's it for indies. Not a huge week for indies, but World Tree is pretty good. So from DC, Action Comics 1056. Got a good first appearance in there by the looks of it, and this is one that's kind of been on people's radar for a while. Ton of covers for it. Probably going to be a bigger print run. Well, not a huge print run. There's not a huge Action Comics fan base out there. It's never one of the higher print runs, so. But that looks like a good one to get. I'm going to try and get that one. From Marvel, we got Carnage Reigns Omega #1. It's just a one-shot. And this is a total crapshoot on this one. A lot of times these Omegas, they drop something in there that leads for future stories and issues and stuff. So there potentially is something like first appearance-wise or whatever in there. May or may not be. Don't bet the farm on that one, but if you find it laying around and you got extra money, hey, we're taking a shot. Thor 35 cover A for me is the big book this week. That one's got the origin of Hela, and she's got the black gauntlet on. I mentioned this before. It's on the cover, so I don't know if she's created that or the stone or what the story is. Hopefully we learn a little bit more about that one, and I love the artwork on that cover. It's just a really cool looking cover. There's a couple other covers for that, but I'm not too keen on those. Cover A, I have that one pre-ordered, have for a while, so. Last one from Marvel I'm looking at is X-Men Before the Fall, Heralds of Apocalypse, one shot. Now this talks about the origin of Arakko, and Apocalypse's wife Genesis is mentioned and she's on the cover. So I'm going to pick that one. I want to pick that. Al Ewing's writing this one, so I'm looking forward to it. His stuff is usually pretty good, and if you got the free comic book day from a few years ago. The X-Men one, that's first appearance of Genesis. She's just got her face on a card. If you remember in the back of this, there's a bunch of tarot cards and stuff for different characters, and her face shows up on the one. So technically that's her first appearance, just a cameo, but it's a good one to have. If you got it, hang on to it. So my picks this week, not a ton of them. I got Action Comics 1056. Cover A for me is the one to get. That one I want to get. World Tree #2, the second print. That is another pick, and Thor #35 cover A. Those are my three picks this week. Nothing mind-blowing, but you know, when you're collecting comics, and you look back over the years and you have all these books. It's funny how that it starts adding up. So one book I did pick up this week. I did get my Incredible Hulk, and we talked about that annual a while back being a prelude. To this story, not a preview, which initially is what I thought. A lot of people, because I mean, technically, whenever they do that, it's usually a preview. It's the first few pages, but this one, it was actually a prelude. So you got your first full appearance of the eldest in that. This was really good. I hope you got it, because this is going back to the. I'm not going to spoil the story, but it harkens back to, I'm just going to show a couple pages to the kind of the darker Hulk from Immortal Hulk. I really enjoyed this. This was really good. It's got the kind of that horror story. The Hulk is a badass again. But what's really interesting in this is there's this new character called Charlene. I said there was a new character called Charlie a few weeks ago when I talked about this issue. I thought it was Charlie, but it's actually Charlene. It's a young girl. And just going to show, oops, sorry, that's not the right page. Give me a second. Where the heck is it now? She shows up in here. She's got an abusive father. Is trying to run away from home and everything else. And at the end, I'm not going to give away the whole story, but at the very end of the book, she runs into the Hulk. And it's interesting that on the whole page, on the one panel that she and the Hulk first meet, it says, "It is the key with which we will free the mother of horrors." So now, is the Hulk the key or is she the key? It's funny. I mean, remember, artists and writers don't do this by mistake. And you see the Hulk is in shadow, and when you're looking straight at her when it said, "It is the key with which we'll free the horror." So I think she's going to be a very, very important character. And she makes first full appearance in this book. And if you go to the very last page, the next issue, cover A, you see her on the cover with the Hulk. So that's going to be her first cover appearance is issue 2. I think she's going to be a really key character, obviously, going forward. For her to have a full appearance in this one and be on the cover of the next one. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was really good. I hope you picked that one up. That, I think, is a good one. I know it's going to be a higher print run, being issue number 1, but doesn't matter. I got a couple of copies, cover A, and I also got the Gleason. I really like that cover. That's a nice looking cover. That's a good Batman. I hope you got that this week. That was my pick last week, and boy, did that not disappoint. It was really good. I have to give a shout out to Absolute Venom on TikTok. Jesus, man, I'm getting old. My brain is turning into mush. On Instagram, he puts out a lot of stuff, and I pretty much read everything. And sometimes he puts out some really good stuff. And I really liked what he showed about Edge of Spider-Verse 3, which just came out this past week. And I mentioned in my last video that, you got your origin of, you find out who Spider-Boy is and all that. And that's great. And that was kind of everything beforehand that we knew was going to happen. Then we found out who it was ahead of time. But the really interesting thing is I'm going to put a couple images on the screen. There's kind of a backup story. And you see... there's a different version of Black Cat, and it's Soyla Gata Negro. She's a Dominican girl, and she runs into Billy Morales, Miles' sister, and they're talking, and this Soyla lady has a young son named Nicholas who looks just like Miles, and she says that she had a very close relationship with Miles, and Billy says there's 3 things that Miles loved: being Spider-Man, baseball caps, and Dominican girls. So, is it not? I don't know. Let the debate begin. All I know is I got 2 copies coming. I got the Ramos variant. I like that one the best. I do like cover A. But I like the Spider-Boy cover, so that's the one I got. Usually I just get cover A's, but my shop didn't have any, so I had to order it online. Boy, that one, that's a total spec book. Whether or not that ever pans out, I don't know, but it's interesting that it's Miles' sister who is the one who sees the young boy and asks about it when it brings in the whole... brothers, sisters, I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. I think that was really good catch by Absolute Venom on that one. Good on you, buddy. Yeah, that's a good book to get. If you haven't got that one, I would pick it up. If you find that sitting on the shelf at cover price, man, that is one to buy, stick in a box, stick in your Miles Morales box, and hang on to it. I got 2 coming because I think that's a really good one. I know Miles and Gwen Stacy had a son and daughter, but that was in a total different alternate universe and everything. This story is in Miles' universe, so yeah, that's a good one. One other thing that Absolute Venom put out that I really liked, that when I saw this, I laughed my ass off, because there's been all this talk about Miss Marvel dying, and oh my God, then you get some people saying, oh, how can you kill off an immigrant? So, I mean, people, I mean, I know you all know this, but in comics, people die all the time. And how long do they stay dead? Usually 2, 3, 4 months. So, Invincible Iron Man number 10, look at the cover. You see, you got big Iron Man there and a whole bunch of people around him. And the next image, way in the back, who you got sitting on the shoulder? Miss Marvel. That's September. Yeah, she's dead for a whole, like, 3 months. So, there you go. So, if you're specking on the books with her dying, boy, I good luck on that. I got ROM and Micronauts in the background. The reason for that is my last, I talked about G.I. Joe number 1 and Transformers from Void Rivals. I think that's kind of cool. And it's interesting, Hasbro owns the rights to all these. They own the rights to obviously Transformers and G.I. Joe. But they also own the rights to ROM, Space Knight, and Micronauts. And if they're creating an alternate universe, it would be really cool if they somehow brought them in as well. Those books right now, especially, well, I mean, they're both, I mean, $20, $30 range. They're not very expensive. You can find those easily. Those are to me, those are, if you don't have them, those are really good spec books. So, and if you find Micronauts number 8, that's the first Captain Universe. So if they do bring Micronauts in, that's, you know, whatever. It's another good one. Just my thought on that. And then I was seeing that there's a rumor that Dakin's going to be in Deadpool 3. So if you got your 3-claw Wolverine ratio variant, hang on to it. That's all I got. I mean, I know Dakin's been in, he was in, which Wolverine movie was that? It was the last, I think it was in Logan, wasn't he? I think he was, anyways, he's been in, it's not like it's going to be his first appearance, but if it's done right, it technically in the whole Marvel world, it could be interesting, especially with Deadpool and everything else. So we'll see what happens, but that's a good one to get if you got it. Or if you don't have it, get it. If the price is right, if you want it. If not, don't get it. Whatever. But that 3-claw, it's kind of tough to find that one. It's especially good. It's a white cover, man. It's hard to find. And I got Spawn 77 sitting in the center there for no other reason than I just love that cover. And I was looking through my Spawn box and I said, oh yeah, man, I knew I had that one. I think I've shown that a few years back. I just love it. It's one of my favorite Spawn covers, Archangel there, and just looks stunning. Man, McFarlane's a good artist, but I think it was Capullo that did that one if I remember right. So, but Capullo is one of my favorite artists as well. But man, anyways, so many good Spawn books. Todd Father, been around forever, keeps putting out great stuff. I don't buy all the Spawn books, but man, I had a lot of them back in the day. So anyways, I'm rambling on. There you go, folks. Some good books out this week. As always, there will be more books coming. If you miss on something, don't panic. There will be lots more. Take care, everyone. Happy hunting. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.